Hey guys, David Serpa again, and I just got done doing a live 1 hour video on my page with a Q&A about the Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate, which is my book that is going to be coming out here on January 30th, which is when we are going to be teaching the 3 breakdowns of a deal, which is also when we are going to be launching the 33-day challenge, which is the next day on January 31st. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch in right now. I'm going to teach you all about the open house script. 100% of my script I'm going to fit in under an hour, and then we're going to do a quick Q&A with you guys afterwards. If you guys have questions while we're going, feel free to add them in here. Feel free to tag people that you want to be watching this. Feel free to share it out as I am going live and after it finishes to let people know the best open house script in the business. There's no lie. There is no secret. This is the best open house script that you will ever learn from anyone ever, and this script will be in my book, The Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate, on January 30th. So I just killed that last video. I wanted to give people an opportunity to tune in. A lot of people have already tuned in, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? Come on. Somebody better tell me that they're ready. I'm not going to tell you guys anything. Oh, wait. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. So, The Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate, Serpa Six-Figure Secrets, the open house script. Here we go. You guys ready to rock and roll? Rock and roll. The person walks in. The biggest mistake that we have, yes, Stacy Sanchez, that ready, fire, cool. So I have learned now that the live is about probably 15 seconds delayed for me. Thanks, man. Right on. Matthew, you're the reason why I'm doing this, brother. Ready to rock and roll? Okay, so here we go. Somebody walks in through the open house. The first problem that people have is they don't let them walk into the open house. It seems pretty self-explanatory to let someone walk into the open house, but unfortunately, we as real estate agents have started doing stupid things like telling our client or telling our potential clients before they even walk in through the door, I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to sign in for security purposes. Is that true? Do you really want to have the first thing that you say to a potential client be a lie? We want to have you sign in for security purposes? Is that the way that you want to start that relationship? Okay. I think that people don't want to start the relationship that way. In fact, I think that most real estate agents are so sick of talking to clients the way that they have been trained to talk to clients by managers that have not been practicing in real estate for 10, 15, 20 years, that their heads are getting ready to explode. That's why people don't think that we're human beings. All right, ready? Hey guys, come on in. My name's David. Feel free to take a look around and let me know if you guys have any questions. And then what I do is I hand them 3 flyers. One is Meet Your Agent flyer. That is something that is either about me, it is about my team, or if I do not have enough experience, it is about my brokerage, okay? That is just fine. Number 2, other open houses that are either my friends that are holding open houses, my team that are holding open houses, etc., where I can text them and say, hey, I'm sending some people your way. Don't poach them from me, but I want to be able to provide value for them immediately. I like to be able to have 8 to 12 open houses that are open at the same time so that you can have a place to point people so that they know that not only are you willing to help them out, you're willing to send them to other agents because your network of agents is so strong that they don't even have to be with the same brokerage with you, okay? And Adam Nelson and I have done this before where I have sent people to his open houses and my team has, and he has sent people to our open houses and we don't poach him. We don't rip him off. Wouldn't it be fantastic if our entire industry just got together and said, here are the open houses for this week, so that people could go out and actually enjoy themselves and browse and look and then just fall in love with somebody and then, you know, decide that they want to work with them because it's somebody that they jive with. And then we don't feel threatened because we are sending somebody on to somewhere where they might get more value than with us. Okay, next. They walk in through the front door. I don't make them sign in. I give them the 3 flyers. I introduce myself. I say, hey, this house is 2,200 square feet. I'm going to use a listing in Butterfield because I list this house all the time. It just happens. It's 2,300 square feet. Okay. So the house, it's a single story. It's 2,300 square feet. If you couldn't tell that it was a single story from the curb, I hope that you could tell from in here. And there's a pool out back. And if you guys want to come in, take a look. We're listed at just under $425,000. And then I don't sign them in. I let them walk around the house. I let them enjoy themselves. I let them experience the home, and I don't hold the home hostage. On their way back, I ask them one question. Every time it is the same question. What did you think? Now understand, in between here and there, if they walk in, when you're talking to them, all you're doing is you're inviting them in, you're getting the initial script out of the way, and then you're looking to build rapport. You're rapport building. If they have an LA hat on, be ready to talk about the Dodgers. If they have a San Francisco 49ers hat on, be ready to talk about football. It doesn't have to be about the 49ers. If you saw that they pulled up and they have an animal rescue shirt on, then talk about dogs. Talk about kids. Talk about anything with them so that you get an opportunity to find out who they are. Okay? Does that make sense? We're not pushing them to give us information until we have provided value as real estate agents. It's one of those things that's so self-explanatory that I'm actually kind of shocked that we don't get it as an industry. They walk in, hand them 3 flyers, they walk through, they come back out, we're building rapport, we're talking to them about kids, we're talking to them about dogs, we're talking to them about football, we're talking to them about our community, okay? Just hear them. Find out what the compelling reason is. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for them to tell you, we are relocating, we love the 49ers, we love the Dodgers, we hate the Dodgers, we X, Y, and Z. You just want to get them talking about something, okay? They go through, they enjoy themselves, they say, they already know at that point, because people make up their minds in the first 15 seconds whether or not they're going to buy a house. They make up their minds in the first 15 seconds of entering the door. Part of that is curb appeal in the neighborhood, yes. But the other part of it is how they're greeted when they walk in through the door. And if they feel like they're being accosted, they're not going to want to walk in, period. They're not going to be comfortable. Everybody has seen a house with some weird tenants in there or somebody who's doing a FSBO, and it feels uncomfortable. And then you go back and you see it without them there, and your clients fall in love with it. It's just one of those things, guys. What I want you guys to understand is all your job is to provide value. And we're going to talk about the 3 ways to provide value here in a minute. But before we talk about the 3 ways to provide value, we're going to get to where we're going. So they walk through. Let me ask them one question. So what did you guys think? So what did you guys think? And the biggest thing that you need to understand is right here is that body language is extraordinarily important. So if you're standing like this, okay? If you're standing like this, let's work with a good angle here. Let's have some fun. So if you're standing like this and you're talking to your clients, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go grab a notepad really quick so that we could really talk about body language for a second, which is part of my open house class that I'm not going to neglect just because you're not sitting here in front of me. Can you guys tell me here while I grab that binder, can you hear me okay? And once you've told me if you can hear me okay, understand I'm just going to grab my binder. Okay, can everybody hear me all right? Nobody said anything? Okay, so it's 10:30. I'm going to be on this for 52 more minutes, and we're going to take a minute. Coming in loud and clear. Thank you, brother. Okay, we're going to take a minute. We're going to talk about body language. So here's my binder. I have lots of crazy binders that have lots of crazy paper in them, and that's the way that I started my business. Anybody that wants to know or anything about me knows that I carried around stuff like this in the first several years of my business, and I continue to do it now. Okay, so men. The first thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about big men like me. Okay, if you're 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds, 200 plus pounds, you are a big human being. Just one second. You are a big human being, and you don't necessarily want to come off as threatening to a potential client that is coming in. Now, who's making the decisions when it comes to real estate? Women. So if they walk in and you let them come in, you say, you're not going to walk in until you sign in. Or like you walk in and you control the middle of the room like this. Body language is important. And if we as men stand like this in the middle of the room, you have to understand that you're going to come off as threatening to somebody who may or may not have come in with their children or by themselves. So if you are a big man, you have to work on not having threatening body language. One of my favorite things to do is to cross my leg like this. It comes off as non-threatening. I also like to lean up against something, okay? Do stuff like that. With women, it's more about the feet, okay? Jennifer does a fantastic job with this, watching her body language. You don't want to come across like adult as women. So like standing like this, having your arms crossed like that, or behind your back like this is good for women. Now, smaller men, you don't necessarily have the problem that we have with people not taking you, or like being freaked out and wanting to get out. So you don't want to necessarily lean like this unless you feel like it's a good situation for you to do that. You also don't want to do this as a woman because you don't want to come across as weak. You want to come across as the professional. And the professional is more like this. Okay, this is a military stance, but when women do it, it comes across like they're a CEO, like they're an attorney, like they are the professional. Whereas if a man were to do this, it would not come across like that. Okay, so we have to work with different things for different people. Body language means different things in different ways. Okay, so a smaller man, you're going to want to have your feet wider apart. Okay, like this. Think about drill instructors in the drill field. You're spreading your feet out so that it is a power stance. But what you do is you can put your hands on your hips. You could put your hands in your pocket. But when you put your hand in your pocket, you either want to have your hand either all the way in your pocket, but that looks like you have something to hide. Okay. You could put your thumb out. Thumb out says wealth. Thumb in says I'm poor. That's poor. That's wealth. That's I have something to hide. Okay. Money. Poor. Something to hide. Okay, so it's simple things like that, and you could read about that in the book, What Every Body is Saying, which was written, I think, by a CIA guy. Okay, so past body language. So when I'm walking, when I'm standing, I'm doing things like this. I'm coming across non-threatening. I'm leaning up against walls because I'm a big human being. Okay, one of the big things that I get from people is, I didn't realize how big you were. That's what people always say when they meet me. So you don't want to come across as threatening. You also do not want to outnumber your clients when they walk in. You always want to have your potential clients having the illusion of control while never completely giving it up. Okay? If you are giving the illusion of control, that is one thing. If you are giving away control, that's a safety thing. It's a safety thing. People want you to be a professional. So give away the illusion of control and take it back when you want to take it back. Okay? We're 12 minutes in. We're doing just fine. Karen with a K. Karen with a K, that's the person I was talking to you guys about earlier. 4 listings in a month. Top listing agent in her office after taking 3 breakdowns of a deal last month. This is just one of the breakdowns, the open house. Okay? So you're standing like this. You got your legs crossed. You're a man. We've talked about this. If you're a woman, rewind this. If you're, a small dude, rewind this. But because it's me and because I'm non-threatening, I am always leaning up against things and I'm talking to people. Okay, so what do I ask them? I say, so what do you guys think? Of course, they walked in, and what did I do? I did not hold the house hostage. I let them walk into the home. They come in. I say, hey, guys, come on in. I'm David. So nice to meet you guys. Hey, you guys brought the whole family today. What's up, Munchkin? I'm David. Good to see you. And you just start saying hello to everybody, right? I'm David. Good to see you guys. Okay, you guys come on in. It is 2,300 square feet. It is a single-story home, and it is a pool home. So there is a pool out back. And if you guys have any questions that you guys are walking through, feel free to let me know, and I will be happy to answer them. What are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Jump in immediately. You want to make some sort of an observation about them, okay? You want to engage them in the conversation. You want to now lock them in, right? So, the house, blah, blah, blah. So what do you guys out running the open house circuit today? How many of you guys see? You look exhausted, brother. You look like you've been talking to freaking real estate agents all day that want your information. I'm not here to hurt you. Okay? So when you start talking to people like that, when you start giving people this this grace, this gift of like, hey, I understand where you're coming from. You guys are out looking at houses. Come on in. I'm not going to freaking make you guys sign in into anything. Take a look at the house. Let me know what you guys think. And then based on whether or not they want to talk to you, and how warm they are and what you can do, start talking to them, but don't follow them around. The number one thing that people do when they walk through an open house, if they have been to a million open houses, is this. Hey, come on into the Yep, I have an agent. The dreaded, I have an agent. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. I know I'm right. I have an agent. What I have an agent means is I don't see the value in working with you currently, so shut up. Okay, do they have an agent? They might. And if they do, fantastic. I want them to be able to work with their agent. I also want them to be able to help them save some time, save some energy, and potentially they can go and see a house that's open that they would not have known about otherwise without their agent. Go back to their agent, have their agent write the offer, and then their agent calls me up and says, hey, Dave, thanks for hooking up my clients. And I say, hey, brother, don't freaking worry about it. They were out anyway, right? Provide value regardless of whether or not you are going to be the one being compensated. Put good energy out there in the world, and you will get paid eventually. Just settle down and don't be such a greedy pig about everything. Stop trying to poach people's clients. This is my least favorite thing about this industry. Oh, well, your agent's not out there with you. They're probably been pretty lazy then. What are they doing? Well, it's Saturday. Maybe they're out freaking coaching their kids. Maybe they're having dinner with their family. Maybe they're at church. Those are all okay things to do as a real estate agent, and we don't have to feel guilty about doing those things. We just have to set up the systems. Buyers, if you're working with 25 different buyers, are you going to be able to go out every single time that they get a whim and want to pop into an open house? No. So if you're a realtor, should you go around poaching people? No. No. Provide value. Provide value. Provide value. And I'm telling you, 4 times out of 5, they're going to come back and say, you know what, I don't really have an agent. Or they're going to say, do I really have an agent if I haven't signed anything? Because they don't want to tell you that they don't really have an agent, that they were lying to you. Okay. Moving on. So when they walk in, and I'm just scrolling up to see if there's any questions. I have all this in my head. So when they walk through, you say to them, so what do you guys think? And then they say, immediately, they offer you the inaudible noise. So what do you guys think? They give you noises. And that's okay. It means that they didn't find what they were looking for here, but they're trying to size you up. A lot of agents will say, so what do you guys like? But now you're putting them in a situation where you are trying to force them to like a house that they may not necessarily love. Your job is to not force them into a home that they don't love. So what do you guys think? I don't know. It's not exactly what you guys are looking for. Yeah, not exactly what we're looking for. If you can beat them to that and say, this is not exactly what you guys are looking for, they will be so appreciative of you for that. And then they will tell you what they are looking for. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. People say, well, what about my clients? What about my clients? They're going to hear me selling somebody else's house. They're listening to me on a microphone. Great. I've been listening to on microphones too. But you know what has happened? I've sold a whole bunch of open houses at the open house because I don't push a house on somebody that they don't want. I advertise the heck out of it for 3 days prior, and then I show up ready to freaking work. And when you show up ready to work, you will have exponentially more clients because you have spent the 3 days prior getting people out the door for that open house. And when they show up to talk to you because you talked to them while you're out farming with your own flyers, they're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to rock and roll, okay? So what do you guys think? Now you're gathering information, and you want to find out what they thought about that house because you're getting comparison. You're getting something. The house that you're in, that is a point of comparison, okay? So what do you guys think? It's probably a little bit too small for us. I don't know, just a little bit too small. Okay, cool. Not exactly what you guys are looking for, huh? Yeah, no, it's not exactly what we're looking for. Okay, cool. So you guys are looking for a little bit more house. You guys got a big family? I mean, I know that you guys came in with a whole gaggle of children, but are all these yours, or did you pick up some of them along the way? Oh yeah, they're all mine. I've got 4 kids, and then actually, my mother-in-law is going to be moving in with us. Bam. I've got 4 kids. I've got my mother-in-law moving in with us. Okay, this is all information that's good information that you want to have, that is not unorthodox information for me to have attained from somebody simply by having a conversation and acting like a human being. Okay? Just have a conversation. Just act like a human being. It's not that hard. So what do you guys think? This and that. We're looking for more house. Why are you looking for more house? Without asking these questions. Oh, I've got 4 kids and I've got my mom. Okay, so mom's moving in with you guys then, huh? Does she already live with you, or is that happening soon? That's happening, geez, brother. It could be in the next couple of weeks. It could be in the next couple of months. Okay, so now you're establishing a timeline, okay? Are your kids currently going to Temecula School District or Murrieta School District? I just asked where his kids are going to school without asking, where are your kids going to school? Because what does somebody not want to tell a 30-something-year-old, 32-year-old bearded man with an LA hat on? Where their kids go to school. Where do your kids go to school, huh? Don't ask that question. It's a stupid question to ask. Instead, say, are you guys currently going to Temecula Murrieta schools? And then they'll tell you where they're going to schools. They'll say things like, oh, no, we're actually going out to school in Orange County. We live out there. Now you know they're a relocation. Oh, you know what? We're actually just visiting, blah, 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 but we're looking to buy out here. Okay, now you know they're relocating. Okay, no, you know what? We actually were in Menifee schools, but we're open to Menifee schools, Murrieta or Temecula. It's more about the school than it is that specific district. Now you know that you've got a buyer that has done their homework and knows that there are good schools and not so good schools in every single different school district. Okay, so now you know that the person that you're talking to is educated, they have 4 kids, they have a mom that's going to be moving in with them with the next couple of weeks, could be the next couple of months, all by talking, all by asking conversations. So one of the other conversations that people, or you know what, we're going to get that question here in a little while. So you're collecting information. The other question that you're going to ask them, because you just said, what about the kids? Are you guys currently Temecula School District, Murrieta School District? You found out the schools without asking the creepy question of where do your kids go to school. And now you get to ask them, how much you want to spend on a house? What are you guys approved for? And I keep doing this Western accent, but it's really, I'm just trying to sound like an idiot. What are you approved for? How much money you want to spend? Don't talk to people like that, man. Okay, relax. What you're going to do is you're going to say, what price are you guys comfortable keeping it under? What price are you guys comfortable keeping it under? That says that I respect their budget and that I'm not looking to rip them off. Okay? What price are you guys looking to keep it under? I respect your budget. Code word, right? What schools are you guys currently in Temecula Murrieta schools? Where do your kids go to school without me asking? Okay? These are all good things. Next, let me make sure that I'm not getting any questions as I go, which I'm not. Okay. So you got the price, you got that they want more house, but then you need to find out how much room. So, okay, so you guys got 4 kids, and you got mom living with you. You guys here in the next couple of weeks, a couple of months. What do you guys want 6 bedrooms? Are you guys looking to keep it over that? And then they say to you, what? Because right now, my binder is still right here. I'm not writing everything down while I look at them, because the second that you write things down and you just are like, okay, how many bedrooms do you guys want? Okay, and then how much money do you guys want to spend on your house? Okay. Do you need to sell your house? Start thinking about the questions that you're asking people. Start being intentional with your speech and stop coming across like you're an attack dog, because you're not. You're just trying to help people, right? So you have to learn to ask questions in a way that they want to receive them from you and then give you the answer that you're looking for. Okay. So what price are you guys comfortable keeping it under? I respect your budget. You know what? We're probably looking to keep it under, I don't know, probably 525,000, 550. Now, with most people that are coming out from Orange County, which actually, you know what did we say that they're going to be doing? We haven't gotten there yet, right? So let's just make this up. You know what? I can't remember where we are. We're something about the price, something about something. Here we go. Yada, yada, yada. So how many bedrooms do you guys need? Because I know that you got mom with you. You got the kids. How many bedrooms do you guys need? There it was. You know what? The oldest is actually, he doesn't even live with us anymore. And then we've got one that's a senior. And then the youngest is an accident. He's 5 years old, 6 years old. And, you know, what we need to do is we just need a 4-bedroom with a bedroom downstairs. You know, so when you start getting that kind of stuff, help people out. Have a joke with them. Be like, oh, man. Okay, so you got one out the door. You just got one that just came in. You've got grandma coming. So you need some house. So what do you guys need? What, 4 bedrooms up, 1 bedroom down? At least. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's keep it over 2,800 square feet. I think that's going to give you about the space that you need. And then maybe we could play with some walls here and there. What I'm doing is a presumptive close. I'm telling him that we're going to start working together before I even start taking down the information. Okay? Give them okay, so this is what we're going to do then. Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's say about 2,800 square feet. Is that about the kind of square feet that you guys need? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is when you look down at your binder and you do not look up. And I'm going to tell you why here in a minute. You take your pen out from behind your ear, which is my favorite place to put it, or from your pocket, or from your hand. If you have a shaky hand that you want to keep people not paying attention to, and then you pull out the pen, you repeat back to them their own value system. and you show them that you respect it. Okay. All right, so you guys are looking for at least 4 bedrooms upstairs, 1 bedroom downstairs, 2,800 square feet. We want to keep it under 525,000. You guys are looking in either Temecula schools, Murrieta schools, or Menifee School District. And what's a good email for me to send these listings to? Do not look up. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? People will give their email to the checkout clerk at CVS to save 33 cents on a gallon of milk. They will give you their email if they think that you are going to help them find listings so that they don't have to continue to look at open houses all the time. I promise you, they want to give you their email. They want to give you their phone number. They just have not seen the value in it yet. And I'm going to go into the 3 ways to provide value here a little bit later, just in case you get an objection. But in order to get through the scripting in the next 35 minutes, I want to give you everything that you need because this is 100% the best open house class that you're ever going to get. Period. Am I right? Is this good so far? Okay. Repeating back to them their value system. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? And then they say it, and then you do not look up here. What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? Now, you will notice with my intonation that I am asking questions by saying, Michael Hellickson taught me about this, Mike Bjorkman taught me about this. Go up at the beginning of the sentence, go down at the end of the sentence with your voice intonation. This is NLP. This is neuro-logistic programming, which you could study more of if you are interested in doing. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? Instead of doing what so many people do, which is sounding like a Jamba Juice order taker, and unfortunately women struggle with this more than men do, and this is one of the biggest breakdowns that keep women from getting paid, is sounding like a servant. We have believed, for whatever reason, that in order to work in customer service, we have to sound like a servant. We do not. We should sound like a professional. We should sound like an attorney. We should sound like a lawyer. We should sound like a doctor. We should sound like the person that's got it under control, not like a servant. This is what we normally would do. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? Bring the voice intonation lower to where you naturally speak, at your natural octave. I cannot tell you how many women that I have worked with in my backyard, along with other people. I would love to drop their names, but they no longer work with this team, where I just told them to bring their octave down. And then a month later, 2 months later, they're the agent of the month. They're the agent of the month. They had 5 escrows closed. That's what intonation does. It lets people know that you're in control. So this is what we do. Repeat back, right? While you're writing everything down, this is the presumptive close. And then without looking up, what's a good email for me to send these listings to? What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? And then look up and give the puppy dog eyes. Because that's your moment. What's a good phone number or what's a good email for me to send these listings to? Do not look up. Do not ever look up. Keep your eyes down on your pad. This is your Western moment. This is a standoff. If you speak first, you lose here. You lose. I love talking to agents about this. Like, dude, I did exactly what you said. I didn't say anything. I repeated back to them their value system. I repeated back to them how many kids they had, everything that they're looking for, their price point and everything. And then I said, what's a good email for me to send these listings to? And I didn't look up. And I didn't look up. And it was like 2 minutes. And then they gave me their email. And then I said, what's a good phone number for me to reach you at? I didn't apologize for getting their email. I didn't apologize for getting their phone number and say, oh, but you know what? I'm never going to call you. I'll probably only ever text you. Does your doctor do that? Does your lawyer do that? They do not. That is not the professional thing to do. The professional thing is to get the information because you need the information in order to do your job. Period. You are the best thing that could have happened to them that day in that open house. Period. Repeating value system. What's a good phone number for me to send these listings, or what's a good email for me to send these listings to? What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? Write it down, and then look up and give the puppy dog eyes. Can I text you at this number? Up with the intonation. Okay, we went down the last two times. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? Can I text you at this number? And look up. Now, about 20% of the time, you're going to get somebody who says, actually, no, here's my cell phone number. Because you just basically called them out without calling them out, because they may not have realized that you needed a cell phone. They may not have wanted to give you their cell phone number. But at the end of the day, what is the best possible way for you to be able to provide value for them? The best possible way for you to be able to get them out the door for an appointment, and the best possible way for you to continue to work with them throughout the course of the transaction, by having a flipping cell phone number. What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? What's a good, can I text you this number? No, actually, here, let me give you my cell phone. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. All right. And then what you do is, at this point, you have what you need, right? You've written down their information. You wrote down the cell phone. You wrote down their email. But we do not know if they have a house that they need to sell yet, right? What do most agents do here? What do you ask if you find out that somebody has a house that they need to sell? How are you asking right now? Somebody throw me something. And then we're like 15 seconds delayed, so I'm going to drink some coffee. Is there any more hot coffee in the pot, Kate? I'm going to get a little bit more coffee. How do you find out if somebody has a house they need to sell? What questions do you have? I will answer them. I need a little bit more coffee. Give me 2 seconds. That's cold. Okay, so this is what you're going to do, because nobody told me. Okay, do you need to sell your house? I wouldn't ask either, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty intense right now, and I wouldn't want to get blasted. So do you need to sell your house in order to buy? Don't do that. Don't do that. Ask them an affirming question that no matter how you ask it, no matter what the response is, you will get, do you currently rent? Katie, you've seen this class before. You beat me to it. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. You beat me to it. Okay. Do you currently rent? People are already liking it. Well done. She beat me to it. That's somebody. That's a real estate agent that's already taken this class. So instead of asking them, do you have a house that you need to sell? Ask them, are you currently renting? Are you guys currently renting? Because if they are currently renting, they say, yes, we're currently renting. And then do you know what happens? They don't feel weird about the fact that they lost their house 5 years ago. They don't feel weird that they, like everybody else, lost their house 9 years ago. And then you don't have to spend 10 minutes consoling them because you feel bad because they lost their house 7 years ago. Because I will do that. I'll kill an entire freaking open house consoling somebody saying, hey, you know what? A lot of people lost their house. That does not make you a bad person. It is understandable. If anybody can help you buy a house again, it's going to be me. I'm going to do everything that I possibly can for you and your family. And I mean it. And I freaking mean it. And that's why people love working with me. They know that I freaking mean it. They know I mean it. So if you avoid that question entirely, you will avoid them feeling poorly about themselves, and you will avoid the awkward conversation. And then if somebody else walks in, you won't lose a potential client because you're having an awkward conversation by asking them if they need to sell when they lost their house 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Okay? So instead say, are you currently renting? Because if they are currently renting, they say yes, and that feels good. And if they are not currently renting, they say, no, I actually own my house, and that feels good too. So don't just focus on the yes, focus on the way that the yes feels for the giver to give it if you ever hope to get another yes. Ask a guy that's freaking asked a girl out on a date in a stupid way. If he's gotten the stupid yes, does he get a second yes? He does not. He does not. Everything is connected, baby. Here we go. All right. Everything is connected. All right. Are you guys currently renting? No, we actually own our house. Oh, cool. Would you guys need to sell that house in order to buy a house? See how non-threatening that feels? Okay, cool. You guys need to sell in order to buy? I'm not asking them for the address yet. And then if they say yes, I say, fantastic. That's actually something that we specialize in. We can help you buy your old or sell your old house and move directly into a new home without the layover in between. It's called stacking contingencies. Has anybody ever talked about that? Okay. We can help you sell your old house and move into a new home without the layover in between. That is extraordinarily helpful, okay? Because what it does is it says old house, disassociation, word disassociation, old house. We say new home, word association, home, new home, directly, no layover in between. You will not have to live with your mother-in-law. You will not have to live with your friends or your family or your kids in the layover. You can move directly from your old house into your new home without the layover in between. Anybody talk about second contingencies? Yeah, but you know what? We're not totally sure that we're ready to talk about selling right now. I completely understand. You guys are in the information gathering stage, right? Yeah. Yeah, I completely understand. That's the right stage to be in until you're ready to freaking put a sign in the front yard, brother. So you guys are just in the information gathering stage. You want to know what your house is worth, what you can expect to make from that house, and what houses are selling for in your neighborhood, and what I could do to help you sell it. So why don't I do this? One of my favorite lines on planet Earth, because it is a presumptive close. It doesn't feel like a presumptive close. I never used it as one until I heard that it was a presumptive close, is, so why don't we do this? So why don't we do this? I'll pull the comps for your house. I'll find out what homes are selling for. Than other houses in the area, and then we could get an idea of what your house is worth, what we can sell it for, and what we could do to help you sell it so that you can make the most amount of money and then move directly from your old house and into your new house. And then he says, okay, cool. And then I tell them, and then that way you can make the best decision for you and your family, even if that is not to sell. And I mean it. If you could give somebody a whole bunch of information and you could say, this is how much you're going to make, you know what? Actually, with everything involved, you guys are going to lose about $9,000. And you just tell them the truth about that, people will be so extraordinarily grateful to you that not only will they come back when it's time to sell, but they will refer people to you for the next 2 years until it is time to sell. Just by sitting down at a kitchen table and telling people the truth, giving them the information that they need so that they can make the best decision for them and their family. What does it cost you? What does it cost you to do the right thing? So you give out some information, you tell them that, and now if you lead with that, they will give you the address for the home. At that point, you write it down, and then you either tell them, hey, I'm going to pull these comps. You set up the expectations. I'm going to pull comps for this house, and then what I'll do is I'll call you here tomorrow, this evening. We'll set an appointment for this week, or set the appointment before they walk out of your open house. I'm spilling coffee like crazy. That's what I try to do. This client is not a client until you meet them outside of today. If you could do that at 8:30 this morning, you should do that. Okay? So get them out, get out, meet them. Okay? Talk to them about the house they need to sell. Now you need to find out if they're currently working with the lender. So are you guys currently working with the lender? Now that you have their information, you ask these questions. You don't ask them if they're working with a lender or if they have a house that they need to sell until you have their email and their phone number, because those are the questions that people don't want to talk to you about. Does that make sense? It makes a lot of sense, right? So are you guys currently working with a lender? If they start with that noise, they're not committed to their lender. No. We're not happy. We are with another agent, we're not happy. We haven't really started the conversation yet. That means no. And then they tell you who they're working with. And then you tell them, hey, I will work with whatever lender that you want to work with. And if you are somebody that has a specific relationship with a preferred lender, unlike us, almost lost your connection there for a second. We work with anyone that wants to work with us, that's willing to grind and provide exceptional service to our clients and to my agents. So I don't really do this a whole heck of a lot, but what I tell people is this: whatever that preferred lender is in that area for that agent likes to work with, I like to say, as that agent, as an agent on my team, you should have a lender that you enjoy working with. I am not going to tell you who that lender is. Isn't that the cool thing about the Servant team at KW? Right on. Because sometimes you want to work with a lender that is not the lender that I want you to work with. Why would we force you not to do that? There are good people out there that want to work. I want to work with them. You do too. Rock and roll. Here we go. Hey, so you guys currently work with a lender? Yeah. Okay, great. So you guys work with whatever lender you guys want to work with. I'm totally happy to work with whoever you want to work with. I just want you to make sure that you get an education in what you're doing if you want one. If you do not, and that's your brother or your sister or your best friend that is a lender, right on. I'm totally cool with that. If not, what I could do is I could have two of my favorite lenders, call you up and tell you who they are, what they do, and how they can help you with your loan. And if you don't want to hear from them, that's okay too. Would you be open to a conversation that could potentially save you guys some money? Your lenders will love you for this one. Would you be open to a conversation with a couple of people that, could potentially save you some money? Yeah. Yeah. Well, why not? Or, no, we're pretty squared away. Okay, cool. Don't worry about it. It's not your job to get everybody paid. It's your job to try to get your clients into a house and do your due diligence and understand who you are supposed to be doing right by. And that is your client, not your lender. If your lender is fantastic, they will earn their job. Okay? All right. That being said, are you guys currently working with a lender? Okay, great. So you guys can work with whoever you want to work with. We like, and for me, for the last several years, we like working with Brian Decker. He's the top VA lender in the state of California, and he treats our clients fantastically. He is one of those people that provides excellent service with the team like we do. And so if you want to work with him, he's great. We also work with Brian Shudo. Brian Shudo is very similar. He's more down in San Diego, though he works up here a lot as well. And quite honestly, no matter who you work with, you'll probably never meet with them in person. Brian Shudo is the next name that you're going to be hearing about in the Temecula Valley. He is the real deal when it comes to lending, and his systems are fantastic. Pure Mortgage is fantastic. He is a great dude, and he also has a fantastic team around him as well. I like Jonathan Mazzadri. He is the preferred lender for KW, New American Funding. Guys, there are great lenders out there. And quite honestly, and Lisa Toscano. Lisa Toscano is a fantastic lender because the thing is sometimes people will want to work with a female. I end up working with a lot of dudes because a lot of dudes grind. And a lot of dudes call me because they want to grind, and that sounds really weird. But at the end of the day, kind of a weird dude. So, dude, and you want to grind, or if you're a girl and you want to grind and you want to freaking build the Serpa team at KW, recruit for us. We'll teach them how to work with you. You build out your relationship, your book of business together. We help you foster that relationship, easy peasy. Everyone gets paid. Everyone's happy as long as the relationships continue to be reciprocal. We work with this lender. They're great. Would you like me to have them reach out to you on Monday? Don't be that person that makes a lender reach out all the time on Saturday and Sunday. That's not their job, okay? It is their job if you're writing an offer. It is their job if you need to do this or that or have an emergency situation. But at the end of the day, no decisions are being made until Monday anyway. Be an agent that can talk enough about real estate and can talk enough to the other real estate agent that you don't have to constantly be bothering your lender friend during the weekend, because trust me, lenders freaking work during the week. They work. I like for my lenders to be able to enjoy their weekend. Okay, so are you guys currently working with a lender? We are not working with a lender. Okay, cool. We'll have them reach out to you. Fantastic. All right. Then you have to set up expectations. Set up your expectations. Hold on to them. Now, the thing is, if you are living in one of those places where you live in a mega agent or mega open house place, you have to learn how to triage. So you have to talk to people quickly. If you have 15 people coming through in an hour, you have to talk to people quickly. These scripts are designed for people that know that they need to jump into a script quickly, get a quick close, and then move on. It's triage. You're not going to save everyone. You should be able to save some people, and you might be able to save a lot of people if you know how to arm yourself the right way and educate yourself the right way to go into combat. Like I talk about war a lot, guys. You're just going to have to freaking get used to it. Okay, so government supervised, Roseville area. Any good supervised via lenders that you know of in Sacramento? David Wigg is a great lender in the Sacramento area. He works with Amanda Todd. Look him up, W-I-E-G. David Wigg. He actually does a lot of cold calling with Amanda and with her team. And the guy, we're building his business up big time in Sacramento because the Serpa team is expanding to Sacramento. The Serpa team is expanding to Folsom, and the Serpa team is expanding to Placerville and the Bay Area. So we're going to have a big move that's going to be moving up to Northern California. David Wigg, other lenders in that area, they're going to be a big part of that while they continue to foster their own relationships with other mega agents in that area like Amanda Todd. And of course, the pie is big enough. Am I going to roll up into Sacramento and want to freaking kick Amanda Todd's butt or something like that? No, first off, she's probably a little bit tougher than I am. But second, the pie's big enough. Moving on. Working with a lender? No, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. We're moving on. Set up the expectation. I like to spend time with my family. So I say things like this. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. I'm going to send you a bunch of listings tonight. I like to say tonight because I will do it by tonight. But you can say tomorrow morning if you don't want to do it until the next morning. You want to under-promise and over-deliver. So if you say tomorrow morning and you do it tonight, are they disappointed? If you say tonight and you do it tomorrow morning, are they disappointed? Okay, that's the flip side. I'm going to send you some listings tomorrow morning. Feel free to look them over when you guys get a chance. Mark the heart icon for anything that you want to see, and then we'll go out and we'll take a look. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. All right, well, hey, you guys, go enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys at 4 o'clock at this house, or whatever house. I'll see you at 4 o'clock. That way we can go take a look at some listings. And then I'll see you on Tuesday afternoon when I come over and we talk about what your house is worth, what we can do to help you sell it, and all that good stuff. Sound good? You guys have any other questions before we leave? Okay, I have one. Do you want a hug? I'm just kidding. That's a joke about my last open house class because I gave Joseph Manolo a hug, and then I was contacted by agents all over the country like, how often do you give a hug? Do you hug your clients every time? Should female agents hug just like male agents hug? And it was funny, and it was great, but I'm just like, you know what? That's a SERPA thing. SERPA gives everybody hugs. You don't need to give everybody hugs unless you really, really, really want to. Okay, so set it up in triage. Now, here are the 3 ways to provide value. Okay? 3 ways to provide value. If somebody says, you know what? I'm not really interested. I have an agent. Okay, cool. Has anybody talked to you guys about taxes? While you guys are out, and you guys are out driving the neighborhood, I want you guys to know, I want you guys to have the best and most effective day that you're going to have. Has anybody told you that this neighborhood here is a 1.3% tax rate and is one of the lowest tax rates in the area? Has anybody told you that across the street is a 2.2% tax rate, but you're going to get a whole lot of value with that tax rate? Has anybody told you about that? Well, no. Okay, cool. Well, here, listen to this. Okay, you ready? Taxes, homes that they could see now, schools. Taxes are one of my favorites because it appeals to the man, and the man is typically the one saying, F you, I have an agent, I don't want to talk to you. He's the one who's like, I have an agent, I have an agent. Okay, cool. Has anybody talked to you about taxes? While you guys are out driving around, and I know that you guys have an agent, I want you to work with the agent that you guys want to work with, but if I can help you guys from driving around to some areas that you may or may not want to spend the money in, would that be something that would be worth your time? Okay, cool. Well, here, I'll draw a map out for you. I will literally draw a tax map out for people that would come into my open houses that were working with other agents because I wanted to help them out. It had nothing to do with any ulterior motives. It just so happens that occasionally they would say, I'm not really working with an agent, or, I'm kind of working with an agent, but like I haven't talked to them in like 2 months. So can I work with you? Yes, of course you can. I'm going to finish drawing you this tax map anyway. Okay, cool. This is the difference between a 1.3% tax rate and a 2.2% tax rate. This is what I tell people. When I'm working on my street in French Valley, I say, so, this area right here is actually a 1.3% tax rate. If you drive 2 streets over that way, it's 1.7%. Another street is 1.9. And then if you go across the street the other way, it's at a 2.2% tax rate. So the difference 1.3% tax rate and a 2.2% tax rate is this. 1.3% tax rate for a $400,000 house is $5,200 annually. Now, how did I figure that out? 1.3, 2.6, 3.9, 5.2. If you don't want to figure that out on your own, don't worry about it. Just trust me. Okay, a $400,000 house at a 1.3% tax rate is actually $5,200 annually. Okay, cool. That doesn't mean anything to anyone. That sounds like a lot of money. Well, by proxy, or in contrast, a house that's a mile that way or across the street at $400,000 at a 2.2% tax rate is $8,800 annually. Okay, so you got an $8,800 annually to $2,200. Excuse me, $8,800. My gosh, my brain isn't working. So I'm going to do this again because I don't fail. I'm going to just do it again. All right, because I want to give you the good stuff so that you guys have it. Okay. Has anybody talked to you guys about taxes? No, nobody's talking to me about taxes. Okay, great. Well, the difference between a 1.3% tax rate in a $400,000 home and a 2.2% tax rate at a $400,000 home is this: $5,200 annually versus $8,800 annually for a $2,200 tax rate, or 2.2% tax rate, which is $8,800 annually, versus 1.3, which is $5,200 annually, a difference of $3,600 a year or $300 a month, all by buying the same house in a different tax rate. If you guys can save $300 a month just by buying in a different tax rate, does that sound like something that you guys might be interested in? Yeah. Okay. Taxes. That's one. The next one is schools. Now you got to be careful with steering because you can't tell people that they cannot, that you would avoid a neighborhood because of schools or that you would avoid a neighborhood because of any other reason. Just tell them, Hey, look, so I know you guys are out on your own today. Now here, just in French Valley, there are actually 3 different school districts right here. Okay, on the east side is Temecula schools. On the west side is Murrieta schools until you get to a certain point, at which point it becomes Menifee Elementary and Middle School and Paris High School. What? In Winchester? Yes, in Winchester. There's Murrieta School across the street, Temecula schools right here, and then across the street and a little bit north that way is Paris High School and Menifee Elementary and Middle School. Okay, now you get a lot of people that end up buying in that area that don't realize that they don't necessarily want to be buying in that area because they're not familiar with the school system out here. You also get a lot of people that are private schooling in that area because the thing is it is a cross from a Murrieta school and they can't go to school there. My heart literally breaks for everybody that bought into that. I'm not going to say the development, but I could say that it ends with a K and ends with a Bravo. And I feel really bad for them, the Kilo Bravo company, for the fact that they kind of got worked over on the schools. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. So three things. Taxes. We talked about that. $300 a month. The difference between $5,200 annually and $8,800 annually. 1.3 and 2.2%. Okay. Schools. This is Paris School District. This is Temecula School District. This is Murrieta School District. That's how you're appealing to mom. The other one was for dad. And then the third one is what can I see right now? Because you don't want them to leave your open house and then go drive to another open house. You don't want them to leave your open house. Everybody says that they don't want to be closed until they meet a closer. Everybody says that they don't want to be sold on anything until they meet a salesperson. Because the thing is salespeople that are comfortable calling themselves salespeople understand that what they are doing is they are not selling somebody on something. They're providing enough value to where that person is now able to make the decision for them and their family without the agent making it for them because they guided them in the experience. Okay, so how can you do that? I used to print off 75 to 100 of the closest listings that were open at that time. Okay, I would, or that not open, excuse me, that were just listed. That were listed, that have been listed for however long. 75 to 100 of the closest listings. You green tab everything that is vacant, go direct, which means that those clients can see you now, or they can see the house now. Though you never shut down an open house because you don't want to develop a reputation for being an agent that shuts down an open house. So you set up the appointment for 4 o'clock the next day, or 4 o'clock that day, or 8:30 the next morning. Okay? Do not shut it down. These are the 75 closest listings to this house. I've actually got 78 because I added 3 this morning. Everything that's green is vacant, go direct. Everything that is red is in a state of foreclosure, default, they're short sell. Everything that is blue has a pool on it, etc. This is everything that's organized in order. Feel free to take a look at it. This is one of the best value adds to offer somebody who's getting ready to walk out of your open house because they haven't seen the value. Because they said, okay, cool. Well, actually, you know what I have right here? I have the 75 closest listings right here. They're all organized by price. And just based on what it is that you told me, there are 3 listings that fit your criteria right now. And one of them is actually vacant, go direct. And you hand it to them. Now, they're going to take it, they're going to look at it, and they're going to want to walk out with it. But because that's your only copy, you can't hand it to them, right? If they haven't given you their email, hey, look, these are the 75 closest listings. Here's 3 that fit your criteria. 1 is vacant, go direct. We can see it today at 4 o'clock or tomorrow at 8:30. What do you guys think? Take a look at it. Okay, cool. All right, thanks. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's actually my only copy. I printed these all off last night. This is something that I do every week to provide value for my clients. Well, what I can do is I can take these 3 and I can email them to you. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? See how I did that? You're going back into the closing script with the value, right? Well, I didn't know that about Murrieta schools. Well, yeah, actually, right across the street, that's Vista Murrieta High School. That's one of the best high schools that your kids could go to as far as public schools go. Do you guys know about Murrieta schools? There's some great freaking Murrieta schools out there. No, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's not like everybody thinks Temecula schools are so much better than Murrieta schools, when in actuality, there's some really freaking fantastic Murrieta schools. Some are ranked higher than Temecula schools, and some Temecula schools are ranked higher than Murrieta schools. Period. Okay? So so what I can do is I could send you all these homes in this school district. I could send you all these homes in this school district, and then we'll avoid the homes in that school district. And then what we could do is I'll send you all of that. If you see anything that you like, feel free to mark the heart icon and we'll go take a look. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? I'm not teaching you to be a robot. I'm not teaching you this one script that is point A to point B, regardless of what comes out of that person's mouth. I am teaching you what you need to do to have an education and communicating with people so that you can provide value regardless of what it is that they're looking for, so that you could get their information regardless of whether or not they want to give it to you, because they know for a fact that you are the best agent for the job. I always tell my agents on my team, you have to know that when you are working in open house, that you are the best thing that could have ever happened to them on that day when they walk into your open house. If you don't get their email, if you don't get their phone number, you're actually harming them and harming their family, because an agent that is ill-equipped to serve them is going to end up working with them on that transaction. We have to get comfortable working with people, guys. We have to be comfortable. Start firing your questions in right now. I've got 4 more minutes of this class, 4 more minutes of teaching, and then I want it to be a 100% interactive question and answer session before I go and I get fitted for my new brace so that I can get back to running again. So what questions do you guys have? No, it's farther away. Okay, we'll leave here in about 20 minutes. I'm going to give everybody about 5-10 minutes of questions. Okay. Okay. So get the information, get back to the script. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to provide value to you. Feel free to mark the heart icon if you see anything that you want to take a look at, and we'll go take a look. What's a good email for me to send these listings to? What's a good phone number for me to reach you at? Can I text you at this number? Okay. Are you guys currently renting? Are you guys currently working with a lender? Okay, cool. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you these listings tomorrow morning. If you see anything you like, feel free to mark the heart icon and we'll go take a look. And in the interim, if anything comes up, you guys have my cell phone number. Feel free to text me. Gosh, there's another thing. I'll see you at this point in here and that yada, yada, yada. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. I typically turn off my phone 5 to 7:30 every day to spend time with my family. That's bedtime, bath time, and story time. And all day on Sunday, I do have a team that will be available to you if you have questions during that time. My assistant schedules all of our showings. We never drop the ball. I do not believe that I'm the best person for all jobs, so I find the people that are better than me in the areas that I lack, and then I help them support me so that I can turn off my phone from 5 to 7:30 Monday through Friday to spend time with my kids, and I can unplug all day on Sunday to spend some time with my family. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's totally cool. I understand that. I respect that. People will respect you if you set up the expectation, exceed the expectation, and then tell them, I will return all of your phone calls typically by 8:30. That's what I like to say. Because I do. I get, like, if I have 6 voicemails by people and I want to return phone calls by 8:30 while you're building, do that. When you get to a point to where you're like me, this is going to sound arrogant, but to where you could post on Facebook, hey, we're ready to take more listings, and you get people that want to list their house with you. If you get to be a person that if you spend an hour and a half on the phone, like, listen, I don't call them prospect. If I call them prospect, I could take 10 listings today. I'm not kidding. I could call and pick up the phone and take 10 listings today. I'm that good on the phone. But it's a confidence thing. It is a confidence thing, and it is the fact that I'm willing to take the shot. If you are willing to do these things that no one is willing to do and do them extraordinarily, your 2018 will look a lot better than your 2017. It will look a lot better. And we could do it by remaining connected, by taking the 33-day challenge, holding each other accountable, looking out for each other, supporting each other, and understanding the pie is big enough to where we could all help each other improve our businesses. And then what happens while we're improving one another's businesses is that we improve this industry. This industry gets a chance to be improved, and it needs it, okay? It needs a little bit of love. All right, so that is my open house class. I actually did it in 59 minutes, which is a little bit less than I was expecting. And you guys like that? Did you guys enjoy yourselves? Okay, so I talk a million miles an hour. It's what happens from, just hanging out with Serpa. So I talk a million miles an hour. All of this information is going to be in my book, The Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate, which is going to be being released here in a couple of weeks, hopefully on January 30th, if not January 31st. And it is going to be packed full of information like this, and is also going to be packed full of information about my life, Why I came to the conclusions that I came to, because through growing up poor, growing up doing theater and film and working in television, going off to combat, and then becoming a successful real estate agent and entrepreneur, I have realized that there's a greater connectivity to all these things. There's a reason why I came to the conclusions that I came to. There's a reason why I'm wired the way that I'm wired. And so all of that information is going to be in the Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate, which, like I said, I was going to write it as a 75,000 word book. It is over 150,000 words at this point. So it's going to be it's going to be packed full of information. I'm writing it in segments so that people will have all of that information. And here, I'll just give you guys a couple of quick expectations. So one of the big things that people do that I do not understand is they refuse to work on themselves. They think that everybody in the world is a problem except for themselves. So that's why I started off my book with self-work, being proactive versus being reactive, meditation. It's never too late to take control of your life, of your business. My concept of sales therapy, children dreaming and why we have stopped asking adults to dream, and what I believe that coaching should look like with Coaching by Design and other things. Now, that being said, I also have a lot of respect for real estate coaches that are out there in the world practicing. I'm going to give you a tease of what my first year chapters are entitled, and that is it. I'm not going to tell you what the second year chapters are, the third year chapters are, or the fourth year and beyond. These are the chapters for the first year. Beginner's luck, finding a broker, the 3 breakdowns of a deal, open houses, booking the appointment, writing the offer, negotiating the deal, DISC, Myers-Briggs, stop pretending to work, door knocking, choosing a farm, flyers, haters, consider the source, the website, how to work 40 hours in a week, balance, expectations, knowing when to give up, being reachable, sleep, knowing that there's an opportunity in every rebound. My observation was watching a triathlon, worst reasons to get into real estate, and the 33-day challenge. Just in the first year, not the second year, which is all about how to build a team, not the third year, which is about how to become a CEO, and not the fourth year, which is about the greater connectivity about things, understanding lifestyle brands. I even throw in a chapter about PTSD hacks, business rules to live by, understanding hysteria. All of these things in one book, and then I'm also going to give away a ton of book recommendations, because my goal is to not monetize being a great person, monetize being a good person, monetize helping people out, but it is to help out as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, for as long as possible. And if I just so happen to get paid extraordinarily well while doing it, just, so be it. Are you doing a book release event? And Coma, thank you for asking. I am going to be doing the Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate. You know what? I haven't really thought about a book release event. I'm in such a work mind frame that I don't think about things like that. That's a great question. That's a great question. But January 30th, which is the day that I am going to be releasing the book online, I am teaching the 3 breakdowns of a deal at the Temecula Market Center and encouraging KW offices to tune in live through our meetup, through offices all over the country, to give them the 3 breakdowns of a deal live and on Facebook. If you are not with KW, you can still tune in here on my Facebook page. And then I'm going to give a Q&A about the Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate. I'm going to encourage people to buy it through Amazon, where I'm self-publishing it. And I want that information out there immediately. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be traveling all over the country. Zach Bach is going to be traveling all over the country as well, separately, educating people through KW. And what we want to do is we want to work. We'll talk to people about the books and everything like that from the road as we're going. So I guess the answer is I'm not going to do a book release. I'm not going to do a book release party. I am not going to spend